Okay, so I am reflecting on some questions that were asked about my third vlog. The first one is about the student that I was talking about from a few weeks ago who plays percussion and was having some difficulty, I would say, with behaving or, staying with the group, um, being fully involved with the activities we were doing. She was sent out of the room a few weeks ago, um, and and in the placement that I talked about in vlog 3, we had kind of made a connection, and she wanted to show me how she could play the drums and things like that. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch her or listen to her yet because this past Thursday we didn't really have any time to do that, and she kind of left right after choir was done. So I'm still hoping to be able to do that. But the question was, can you tell me a little bit about how, after reflecting on this experience, I plan to interact with the student next placement? So I have been to placement since this interaction happened, and last week we didn't really talk to each other much. I tried to ask her to come sit down beside me because she was sitting on a chair and we were all sitting in a circle, and she said that she couldn't because her knee hurt. And so I tried to involve her. I tried to welcome her into the group, but she didn't want to. And so I didn't want to push her too hard um, because I feel like we're still building that relationship. Like we're still kind of, um, like I don't really have it's not really my place. Talking about roles again, it's not really my place. I feel like to like bring in the, oh, I hate to use the word discipline. That's not really what I mean. But just the like, okay, if you don't listen, da 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 da, and maybe I should. I don't know. I'm still kind of dealing with that. And so the teacher was the one this past week who really kind of took her under her wing and spent a lot of time with this child. Like, she sat with her and put her arm around her even, and just, was very kind to her. So I was watching that, and so I'm going to continue to act in the way that I did during week 6, and just be kind and ask her lots of questions and feel like, and give her that attention and feel like I am or help her to feel that I am listening to her, because I am. An interesting thing that happened this last placement, so placement 7 on Thursday, was that I was waiting for my friend to finish in her band, and this girl and another girl from choir were waiting for the other girl's sister. And so I sat with them and I was asking them about their teachers at school, did a little sleuthing, and asked if they liked their teachers. And then the girl who plays percussion said that she didn't like her teacher, and I asked why. And she said because she yells at us. And I tried to kind of dig a little bit more, but our like the band had ended at that point, and we couldn't really talk anymore. But it was good to just kind of sit down with those girls and talk to them and have a normal conversation that was outside of the room, and just kind of connect and talk about our lives. And um, yeah, it was really good. So I'm going to continue to do that. That's how I plan on interacting with this student for the rest of my placement, just with kindness and with openness, and just asking her questions about her life, because I feel like that's what she's looking for. Maybe it's not, but I have a hunch that that's going to help a little bit. Um, the second question, just quickly, to what extent does the way that I influence the students, as I was talking about in my last vlog, change the way that I perceive my role in this placement? And I I think that now I can just kind of, we're almost done. I think we might go a few extra weeks, we'll see. But now I can just kind of, yep, the students know who I am. I think I can feel comfortable and confident in speaking up in band and in choir. In choir, the kids are younger, so they show me a little bit more. Um, they give me a little bit more attention and acknowledge my presence a little bit more. But in band, they're starting to as well. Like, I'm just trying to talk to them and ask them questions as much as I can. um, and and they leave really fast. That's the problem. Like, I come right from choir into band, and it's very fast. And of course I don't want to be chatting to them during rehearsal, because that's, not supposed to talk during rehearsal to each other. um, but I'm just really trying to ask these kids questions, to just engage them. Um, and this past week, actually, I I had an interesting moment where the teacher was playing tuba, because the assistant was conducting the piece. So usually how it works is there's two first cornets, and then there's me, and I usually play first cornet with them. And then there's a girl who I sit beside who plays second cornet, and she's the only second cornet, but the assistant plays horn, which is the same part as second cornet. So I'm always kind of like, well, I guess I'll play with the first cornets because that's the part I was given, but I know, like, I know the first cornets need help, but they kind of have a bigger sound, and as I perceive, they didn't need as much help, but um, as the girl on second cornet. But this week, what happened was I was like, okay, I'm going to play second cornet because the assistant is up conducting, so no one is playing with the girl playing second cornet. There's two first cornets, they'll be fine. But then the first cornets crashed and burned. And so I was trying to flip in between them. And I was like, wow, this is going to be interesting when I'm in a classroom and there's more than three kids that I have to, like, kind of help and decide who needs help in what moment. So that was a good thing for me to kind of be aware of. And now that I'm not as worried about uh, where I stand in these places, both in choir and in band, I can just kind of be more aware of that. Like, how am I gonna, how am I going to navigate this teaching moment, and what can I use as a teaching moment, and how am I going to talk to these kids, and how am I going to, yeah, interact with them. So, yeah, that was kind of long for a vlog response, but there's lots to talk about, and I'm really looking forward to this last week. Yeah, yeah, okay, that's it.